What is good, everybody? You have not seen me in a hot minute, and life has just gotten in the way, okay? But today, for the first time since last year, we are doing a paranormal chat with the one and only.
Everybody,
You are.
Adventures with Nubz in the house.
So, for people who don't know you, um, just brag about yourself. What do you do? Like, where do you go? What do you see?
Um, right now I just do abandoned places and haunted places. So far I've only done in Virginia, but that's gonna be changing real soon. I do live reacts to people's channels, try to help them out, get them views and subscribers and everything. And I love doing YouTube. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Meeting people and everything. It's just been great.
So the reason that I wanted to have you on here is because you went on a trip recently, and I haven't heard any of your stories yet or anything, and I thought what a good way to hear all these stories would be on a paranormal chat, since you said that paranormal things happened.
Oh yeah.
And I just want to hear all about it. I want you to tell the subscribers all about it. So where did you go?
I've been to a few places here recently. I went to a Civil War hospital, the graffiti house. It has like old writings on the wall from other, like the Civil War, like era and all that. It was pretty cool. We got a freaking like me and my buddy Dakota was recording, and all of a sudden a girl went from one room to the other room, and me and him both saw her. It was like a little 8 year old girl, and we were the only two upstairs. And she just came like clear as day, just walked right by us. I thought I got it on camera, but I could not find it, and I was like, crap. And then I had my buddy from Kentucky come up and visit me, and we just went on a little like road trip to Virginia trying to find as many awesome places as we could. And we found like every place we went to that week, we found some type of animal skeleton or a
That's
vulture.
creepy.
Yeah, I got chased by a vulture 3 times that weekend. And we also found an epic abandoned mansion about an hour away from my house from the 1700s, and that will be coming out Wednesday.
Did you know that
But
it was there? Like, did you
no,
really?
I've never heard of it. He just looking up abandoned places in Virginia and found that, and I was like, wow, that's legit an hour away. Like that's not bad. The whole place was boarded up, but the back door was wide open, and there was no trespassing signs. So we were like, yeah, we're going in.
Did anything happen there, or
Not much happened. Like, I mean, we got the REM pod and the music box was going off a lot, and that there was a vulture that chased us out of the attic. That was pretty creepy. But
did you think that that was like a
the music, maybe because like there was a weird presence in the attic. Like it just felt dark in there for some reason. Like so we didn't really explore the attic because that vulture kept chasing us and chasing us, and it was pretty bad. But then I had my buddy from Maryland come up, and we went to this place called the Avondale Plantation, and it's like an old Civil War plantation, and it was I legit watched a little like bouncy ball get thrown from one room to the other room, like right in front of my face, and it was pretty cool because nobody was in that room. We saw a phantom cat, which I mean, the phantom cat. We always see that cat when we go there. Like, get the picture, and there's a cat under the like chair or something. Like, pretty awesome.
when my cat dies, he better come back and like haunt me, because that would be really cool.
Just some of these places I've been to in the past recently. Like we recently did a Dybbuk box Ouija board session.
Oh, a Dybbuk box. Was that fun?
Yeah.
I've wanted to try that for so long, but I'm like so scared of what I'm going to release in my home.
It was pretty intense, like, cause I actually I did the Ouija board by myself too for a second, and it actually was moving, and it was on the live stream. Sound like, cause I was using a little speaker thing for my sound, but it kept like buffering and sounding weird, and it sounded like voices was coming in and all that. That wasn't ours. It was really weird watching the replay. But that house, we also like Rob, one of the dudes I investigate with. The first time we went there, right after we started filming, he got shoved.
Really?
Yeah, it was really, really weird.
Do you think that like there was a certain like spirit or something that did it?
I don't know, but it was definitely really intense. We heard a noise like in the other room, and we was all in the living room. We heard like a freaking like something fell and broke in the other room, and it was like a mirror over there somehow just got smashed.
So like something just was angry that you were there.
Pretty bad, but none of us got hurt or
That's
anything,
good.
and nothing weird has been happening since.
And nothing followed you, thankfully.
Yes, that I know of.
Yeah, I've had things follow me before. It was not fun.
We have a few investigations set up. I know October 8th we are going to Lake Shawnee in West Virginia,
I think
and that's been
I've heard of that.
yeah, it's a old amusement park built on the Indian burial ground.
Okay, yeah, that sounds familiar. That does, yeah.
Yeah, that's been on my bucket list even before YouTube. We got it. It went up $20. It used to be 75 for the weekend, but it's 95 now. But it's still worth it.
Oh
Like,
yeah, that's so worth it. I feel like anything that's on Indian burial grounds, there's going to be some crazy things happening. There's an Indian burial ground outside of town, I think like 20 minutes away from here, and literally nobody will go near it, and people like the neighbors will get mad, and like I've heard that like some crazy things have just happened there, and I don't want to mess with it. Cause like where I live, it's where like a lot of the Indians, when they were here, where they settled, like this is where a lot of the Indian tribes were, and so it's it's so weird that like your house could be on an Indian burial ground and you wouldn't even know it.
see,
Like
That's what I was trying to explain to some people. If you think about it, technically, the United States, Canada, and even part of Mexico is built on an Indian burial ground.
yeah, like they're everywhere, and then then people come along and they build houses and neighborhoods and everything. Like there's one girl that I know that her house was built on an Indian burial ground out in the country, and they didn't know about it until recently. And they've always had weird things happening. There's like a shadow figure that follows them around. Like nobody wants to be in the house alone because it's just so creepy. And I was like, how do you get rid of that then? Because like that's their resting spot and your house is on top of it, whether you realized it or not. Like it's like, is it your house or is it their resting place?
Yeah, see, that's a hard situation right there. Like,
And like and it's not like they're disrespecting it because like they didn't know, they just moved in. And so it's like, what do you do in that situation?
well, the trailer park I used to live in, there was this hill that you go down to the other side, and if you walk there at night, you will get like you'll hear something behind you with chains running behind you. If you look, you will get shoved and pushed. If you don't look, it doesn't bother you. I've looked and I got shoved, but messed my face up on the rest.
Oh no. Like a hard
I
shove?
was like 12 at the time.
Like did you like face plant into the ground? Oh,
Hmm
that's not fun.
But we did an investigation up there. We called it the Wendigo Hill. because from what the spirit box said, it said like we asked what is here pushing people, and it clear as day said two Wendigos.
Oh, that's creepy.
And I've been trying to study more about Wendigos myself, and from what I understand, that trailer park was built on the Indian burial ground. And
Ooh.
I lived there pretty much my whole life, and I'm like, that explains so much. Because randomly at night, you'll just hear drums in the woods.
Yeah, I heard, like, I don't know much about them, but for some reason, I'm on like Appalachian Mountain TikTok and they talk about that all the time. And I always see those videos at night, and then it freaks me out because they're like, make sure you close your curtains and don't walk outside when it's dark because you'll hear things that you don't want to hear calling your name. And I'm just like, maybe I don't want to learn about this anymore. Those can be freaky. Like, I heard that they can, like, transform themselves into somebody that you're comfortable with, and that's how they'll get to you.
They're shapeshifters.
Yeah. And like they'll call your name in your friend's voice and you'll think it's your friend, but your friend's not even there. Like, that's something I don't know if I want to mess with.
Yeah, they can be real dangerous. I take extreme precautions when I study them and learn more about them.
What is that noise?
I don't know. It's raining here.
No, it's like, hang on.
So how's everybody doing? I'm so glad to be here.
The cat got a wrapper stuck to its paw and was like rolling around. That's what I was hearing. It kind of it sounded like the wrapper, but I couldn't figure out what the sound was. I thought it was like water running, like the shower randomly turned on, because that's happened before. Like me and Tyler will come home and the shower curtain will be soaking wet, like somebody just took a shower, but the water's not on and nobody else is in the apartment except for us two, and we're rarely ever here, so we're like, what the hell? So I don't know what that is, but that's what it sounded like, and I know that Tyler's outside, so I was like, who's running water? But it was just the cat having a panic attack. Short intermission, we're back.
Have no clue what happened there, everybody.
Me neither.
Just whoop. Cats, trust me, I understand about the cats. We have a few of them here at my house, and
they know when there's something around. Like, my cat, the last couple nights when I'm laying in bed, Smokey will be like staring out my window, and my curtains are like sheer, so they're see-through, so like light can still come in. And I'll just be like looking out my window like, you don't see anything, there's nothing there, no. And he'll just like intently stare at the window and just meow, and I'm like, stop, that's weird, there's no ghosts here, there's nothing here, stop doing that.
Right?
You're scaring me.
Now, one of the investigations that went on recently is actually the one walking distance to my house, like 2 minutes walking distance. Well, my buddy from Maryland, and we went up there, and my neighbor's dog followed us. Stuff we saw. I saw a person. I was upstairs in the attic, and I looked in the little garage thing, the little shed, and there was a 7 to 8 foot figure in there with a hat on, but no face.
What do you think it was? Like a shadow figure?
The Hat Man, creature known as the Hat Man. I've had 2 or 3 interactions with him. Somehow I'm so glad he hasn't harmed me, because he is dangerous.
I've heard from some people that like they get so terrified when they see him, and then others like they just feel like a sense that something bad is about to happen to them. And then other people, they'll like, when you're going to sleep, like he'll just come and stand in your doorway.
It gets crazy. Like,
I've had one experience with a shadow person that was like the biggest. I was like when you walk right out of my room, there's a closet straight to the left, and I use it, like it's like a hall closet, but I use it for like my hoodies and stuff since I have so many clothes. And I was sitting there one day a couple years ago, and I was like folding the clothes, putting them in, And my mom was apparently outside. I thought she was inside. And like a shadow came walking into the living room and then stopped at the chair and just disappeared. And like I saw it all out of the corner of my eye, like crystal clear. And I started talking because I thought it was my mom. And I was like, hello. And I looked over and like it was gone. And then my mom came walking in and I was like, what the hell? Like I told her what I just saw and she was like, I was outside the whole time. I don't know what that was. And I was like, okay, that's creepy. I don't think it was the Hat Man though, because like I didn't see a hat. I mean, it could have been, but at the same time, I didn't feel scared or anything. I think it was just like a different shadow figure. It was more just like, what the hell?
The other time I dealt with him was at this house we call the Satanic Ritual House. Sadly, they tore it down.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And it was like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we was in there filming. And in the closet, it was like the same figure I saw, 7 foot, 8 foot, with a hat but no face. I saw him kind of on a live stream one time, and he was just messing with everybody. I've seen somebody like on a live stream straight up eyes turn pure white and made a weird face. Somebody nose just started gushing out blood. Like I had an awful headache, and it was just messing with all of us that day.
That's no good. At least like nobody got seriously hurt.
Yeah, the worst one was the dude whose nose just started gushing out blood. Not like little nosebleed, like gushing.
Out of all the recent experiences you've had, what is the experience that you had that was most...
Hi.
Hi.
I'm getting ready to take my shower, but I'm mostly done.
Did it start?
Hi, Tyler.
How's it going? It starts, it runs, but it idles really, really high because of that broken vacuum tube. So I super glued the ends of it shut so that it's not leaking. Doesn't have a vacuum leak, but that's a very temporary bad solution.
So we'll go when this is done?
Yeah, when this is done, we go straight to AutoZone, return the old fuel injectors, and find a way to splice up that vacuum hose.
Okay.
Working on my car, all kinds of fun. Fixed one thing, broke 2 others.
Oh, I understand that. Whew.
Okay, I was like halfway through trying to make sense with my question. Okay, out of all the recent experiences you've had, which one that you had made you feel like, yes, the paranormal exists. There's no way that you can tell me that this is not paranormal?
At the Avondale plantation, when that ball just came flying out of nowhere, like out of that one room, and there was like nobody or nowhere where that ball was.
What
Like,
kind of ball was it? Like a bouncy ball or like a regular size like kickball?
it was like a little bouncy ball, but it was hard. It was like a little hard bouncy ball, like, and it just came out of the room and bounced down the steps, like right in front of my feet.
Oh no. We went to Missouri to take my friend home a couple weeks ago, and his mom is like super like, Abby, don't bring any spirits back with you and blah blah blah. And we were all sitting in the living room just kind of talking for a little bit, and like we all my friend Cody put his shoes in their mud room, I guess, and he set them like up on a table, and while we were talking, his shoe, it's like this, it's like a slide, like a little rubber slide.
Yeah.
That like levitated and then dropped and then bounced into the living room, and his mom looked at me and she was like,
Abby.
no, and she was like, get it out. And I was like, I didn't do it, but I have like this Ouija board blanket rug kind of deal right here that I'm sitting on, and Cody fell asleep on it, and so we took a picture of it and sent it to her and was like, he's gonna be the one bringing home the spirits.
Oh, that's great.
And then I talked to them a couple days ago, and she said that her dryer, it's like a front opener, it opened all by itself, and she was like, okay, I guess I'm not doing laundry today.
Right?
And I was just like, this was not my fault. I am not responsible.
Well, see, my aunt, she told me not to bring any haunted objects in the house, but she don't know I got like 15 haunted dolls that my buddy gave me.
Uh,
And yeah, she don't know about that. And like one of them, like a little music box thing. And every other night, not every night, but every other night at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm like trying to sleep, and all of a sudden you hear the music box going off, and it's like, oh god.
oh no. I used to have a music box when I was little, and it scared the bejeebies out of me. I'm like, mm-mm. Like,
That
they're
thing is
so
terrifying.
creepy.
Yeah,
Like,
that thing is terrifying.
it was like a little one where like it opened up and there was like a ballerina on like a spring, and it would like spin around really slowly while the music played. And as it got older, it ended up like getting slower and slower and breaking. And and like when it goes slower, it's even more terrifying because you're like, what the heck?
Right? Like, yeah, the music boxes are no joke.
So about your little Dybbuk box, I need to know about that.
It was my buddy Dakota, Hillman Rob, his grandpa had it. And it was like legit the smallest box I've ever seen. And we was doing the Ouija board asking if it's okay to open it, and it, of course, it went to no. And of course, we opened it anyways.
Of
But
course.
it had like little buttons in there, like like dress buttons, like that goes on dresses in church and all that. It was really weird. But
Maybe.
they kept the box and all that because the house we did it at is literally in between mine and my buddy Dakota's house. And his grandpa is actually trying to buy that property with the house.
That's nice.
And we're gonna make it to like a little free Halloween attraction for everybody. For I mean, it's the main place we when people come up and visit. It's one of the main places we take them
Well,
because we know the activity in that place. Like,
I want to go. Like someday we're gonna meet and you're gonna take me there.
oh, definitely, I want to go there because I love your cemetery videos. Those things are freaking epic. Last cemetery we went to, the Tree of Life Cemetery, one of the smallest cemeteries I've seen. But the activity, like the rim pod, we kept it at this one cemetery. A buddy of mine that I knew, she died in a car accident in 2017, I think. But we kept the rim pod on her cemetery, and we would go off to the opposite direction, and all of a sudden we see the cemetery, the rim pod, and the freaking lights just going off on it, like. And we saw a figure in black, not white, like a lot of places. It was a figure in black, just straight up came right behind me and was walking. It was four of us, but it was only three of us that came. And I counted four people there at one point. I was like, "Whoa, hang on, this ain't right." Like, and then the car randomly just cut on, like the lights and everything, and the alarm just kept going off. But the thing is, the alarm, the key was under the tire and all that. Well, we kept it and all that. We put it under the tire so when we leave, we know where it's at. But it still kept going off, the lights and everything. It was really awesome. But the most terrifying place I've been in is probably this house we call the Devil's Playground house.
I don't know
And
if I've heard about that one.
we had a freaking cabinet fall on me, like almost fall on my knee. It was New Year's Eve. Yeah, it was New Year's Eve, and the cabinet legit. Me, I was sitting on right here. Dakota was beside me, and his grandpa was over here on the other side. And all of a sudden, the cabinet just fell. We was looking at the cat ball going off, and something told me to look straight. So I looked up, and I see the freaking the cabinet. And I was like, "Move!" Like I was like, I was cussing in the video. I was like, "Everybody, effing move!" Like,
Did you get hurt though?
no, no. We left. We were like, all right, what's time to go? I did get a like little garden tool from that place that got thrown in the house. It got thrown from one side of the room to the other side, and I was like, I'm gonna take that with me.
That might have some bad energy attached.
So far, I haven't really got much out of it. I tried to do a little video on it, see if it was had any attachment to it, and nothing I got from it.
I mean that's not good, I guess. I mean it depends which way you want it to be.
Oh, because people say you don't take stuff from houses and all that, but I'm like, look, I personally believe I'd rather somebody like us take it that knows what to do with the stuff instead of like a rookie or a child or something.
Yeah, they say like take only pictures, leave only footprints, and I'm like, if I want to take something, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah,
That's how you get possessed.
Yeah, he was talking that like a garden tool got thrown across the room at this house that they were at, and so he took it with him.
I mean, you have to risk it for the biscuits sometimes.
Hell yeah, like do
Like,
it
people
for the
kept calling
tubes.
us stupid and all that for doing the Ouija board while we opened up the Dippy box while we were doing the Ouija board. I was like, look, we gotta risk it, man.
This is why exorcists still exist.
Like I've seen on eBay that they sell Dybbuk boxes for like $200, and I'm like, someday I'm like, I don't even care if it's possessed or not. Like, I want to do it for the YouTube, man.
Yeah.
Like,
man.
if I get possessed, like, oh well, Tyler's gonna fix it.
I personally don't believe that they truly. I don't believe in them. I believe that Zach Baggins made them big to try to scare people. Like, that's just what I think. But who knows? Like, there could be some out there pure evil. You never know.
Well, I heard that like you're supposed to seal it with like candle wax, so like they can't get out. Like, what the fuck's candle wax gonna do? Like, it's wax. Like, I don't get it.
What do you mix some virgin blood into the wax?
Like, I've just seen like people like put like just drip the wax all over, and I'm like, what is that gonna do? Like, you're not. I don't understand how it locks it in.
At least we had a snake in our house that got in our house somehow one time.
Oh, I would move out. I'd set the house
My
up.
aunt told me to get it. I was like, he tried to bite me. He hissed at me. I was like, I don't do that. I was like, no, we're gonna have to call some professional to come get that guy.
Tyler loves snakes, and if I see a snake, I will cry until I throw up.
That's my aunt. It's funny.
I used to have ball pythons as pets.
You do use Ouija boards.
Yes, I think it's the intent the way you use it.
What's the creepiest thing that you've ever had happen while using one?
It was about 4 or 5 years ago, way before I started my channel. Me and 3 of my buddies decided to go to this house near his mom's and do the Ouija board. Well, we were doing the Ouija board, and of course they weren't taking it serious. I was the only one, but all right, guys, we legit got to do this serious. And they were like, no. But all of a sudden, we heard footsteps upstairs. So we went upstairs to figure out what it was. And all of a sudden, there was nothing, but we came downstairs, and there was boots from, like, a set of boots from the set of the steps to the Ouija board. So it was about 7 to 8 pairs of boots. But the thing is, I was the last one upstairs, and there was no boots at the bottom of the steps. And we was up there for a good 30 seconds, maybe. So I'm like, I don't know if somebody was messing with us, but we didn't hear nobody. That's the thing. We didn't hear anybody downstairs.
That is creepy. I'd probably shit myself if that happened.
You'd probably do that anyway.
I don't know. It was just like from the set of the steps to the Ouija board, there was boots.
That'd be great. Did anything like happen after that, or?
I mean, other than like weird noises, like outside, like somebody like moaning or something, but other than that, not really. We left after we heard the moaning because it sounded like it was like right there at the window, but there was nobody there. So we was like, all right, I think we should go. We was already here for like 2 hours, so.
When I hear moaning, I'm like, okay, it's time to leave. Last year I was with my cousin driving around, and we went to like this road that is like notoriously like fucking haunted. Like, there's not a place on that road that is not like fueled with paranormal activity. And we were at this bridge that Tyler later ended up getting scratched on, and we were like just taking pictures because it was the middle of the day. Like, we didn't think anything was gonna happen, and like there's like a little pasture, and then there's woods past that, and we started hearing like it just sounded like a female moaning, but also being murdered. Like it was a screaming moan kind of thing. Like I could never recreate it or describe it. And it was just creepy. Like we were standing there frozen in fear. Like literally in the movies when you're like yelling at the people to go, but like they're just standing there, like we were terrified, and it kept getting closer and closer and closer, and after like 30 seconds we looked at each other and like kind of snapped out of the trance, and we ran to the car and we locked the doors, and we just kind of sat there for a minute because we were like, what do we do? And I was like, we gotta go. Like it was the middle of the day too. Like I've never experienced a noise like that before in my life. And like people out here do have like cows and chickens and goats and stuff, but there's no way that it could have been any kind of animal like that. Like I have no explanation for it.
I'm the type of idiot that if I hear some moaning or screaming, I'm the type of idiot to walk towards it. That's because I'm an idiot like that. Like, nobody's coming with me. Okay, I guess I'm by myself. But yeah, I'm trying to get up there soon one day. Definitely come up there for a few days and do some videos with y'all. That would be epic.
Yeah, and do some dumb shit. Go to some cemeteries, summon Satan.
Maybe skip the last part.
Sacrifice some children and just fun stuff like that, you know.
Commit arson.
How did this escalate from like supernatural to just straight up felonies? Like we can't blame the ghost for the fires.
Yes, we can.
It would bring good content on YouTube.
It would.
Hopefully our fans will get us out of jail.
So, okay, one last question before we go. What advice do you have to anybody who is getting into paranormal investigating?
Be safe. Check your surroundings, of course. Try to go during the day to scope it out and explore it, if you can. Try to have a first aid kit on you. I got a first aid kit that has 200 pieces of stuff on it. So just all you gotta do is try to just be safe. Let somebody know, at least one person know where you're going, just in case something happens too. Like, always try to let somebody know, because I've been there. A buddy of mine went to a location one time, didn't tell nobody, and he broke his leg on the location. Fell through the floor and like snapped his leg in like 4 pieces. It was weird. It was awful and nasty. And he said he got pushed and he was there by himself. So try not to go by yourself. Granted, I'm awful at doing it by myself. But just be as safe as you can, because it's no joke in some of these places. Like, and don't provoke spirits. I've done it a few times.
Yeah, me too. That's what Tyler did when he got scratched. He was just like, okay, if you're here, prove it. Prove that you're here. And like next thing we know, he's throwing up, and he was like, my back itches, and like he like lifts up his shirt and I just see 3 scratches down his back, and I'm like,
yeah, I recently just watched that video y'all did. Everybody, before we leave though, don't forget to, even though I know this is her channel, don't forget to subscribe to Abby. She's 13 away from 1K, y'all.
I thought you were about to say I'm 13 years old. Like, you're a little off there.
14 years old.
It's okay. I look like I'm a baby.
I look like, well, according to my friend's niece, I look like I'm 75. So yeah.
Well, we're gonna go, and I'll talk to you later.
Yep. See y'all
later.
Bye. Like, what the hell?
Cowboys are going to win this year, and that's going to be the paranormal for the year.
I'm gonna cry.
I would commit arson so fast.